Have you ever wondered why some people always seem to be at peace, regardless of the difficulties they face? In this video, we'll explore 12 powerful lessons that can change the way you see life. From the value of gratitude to the power of stepping outside of your comfort zone, each of these lessons has the potential to transform the way you deal with challenges and find true happiness. And most importantly, you will only discover the secrets of these lessons if you stay with me until the end. So before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. This helps us to continue bringing you more valuable content like this, so you can evolve on your personal journey. Ready to discover how to take your life to a new level? So let's go together. Gratitude goes beyond a simple thank you or an automatic response to happy moments. It is a way of living, an attitude that connects us directly to what is truly important. When we practice gratitude, we begin to notice the small daily wonders that often go unnoticed in the midst of everyday chaos. By focusing on the positive things we have, our brain reprograms itself to see the opportunities around us. And this isn't just a matter of perspective, it's science. Several studies show that gratitude stimulates areas of the brain linked to happiness, reducing anxiety and promoting a continuous sense of well-being. This practice creates a virtuous cycle. The more grateful we are, the more reasons we find to be grateful. Instead of focusing on what is missing, we focus on what we have already achieved, which makes us realize that many of our worries are smaller than we imagined. Gratitude makes us more resilient in the face of challenges. Instead of seeing each difficulty as an insurmountable obstacle, we begin to recognize them as opportunities for growth and learning. This is how gratitude allows us to find strength even in adversity. Therefore, being grateful is not just an act of kindness. It's a powerful strategy for attracting more good things into life. And if you start practicing today, you will see that this change can transform your reality in ways you never imagined. Setting limits can seem difficult, especially when we are used to pleasing everyone around us. However, limits are essential to preserve our mental and emotional health. They function as a shield, protecting us from exhaustion and emotional distress caused by people or situations that drain our energy. When we say yes to everything and everyone, we end up saying no to ourselves. Over time, this leads us into a state of overwhelm, where frustration and resentment begin to build. Learning to say no is an act of self-love and respect, a sign that you value your time and well-being. Boundaries also help us identify who truly respects us. Those who value our company will understand and respect our choices, while others may try to manipulate or challenge our decisions. It is at this moment that we realize the importance of keeping our limits firm, without guilt. By setting limits, we become examples for others. We show that it is possible to prioritize our peace without giving up our responsibilities. This attitude can inspire those around us to also protect their personal and emotional space, creating a healthier support network. Protect your peace, member of Dark Creators. Setting limits is a powerful way to ensure you have the energy and drive for what really matters. And in the end, you will realize that limits don't keep you away from the right people. They bring you even closer to those who truly respect you. Comparison is one of the great thieves of happiness. We live in a world where social media bombards us with images of seemingly perfect lives, and it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our achievements with those of others. But the truth is that each of us has a unique path, and comparing it to others does a disservice to our own journey. When we constantly compare ourselves, we begin to feel like our efforts are insufficient. We forget that behind every success of others, there are challenges that are not visible in the photos and posts. Each person faces their own struggles, and each victory is the result of a journey full of ups and downs. Instead of looking at what others have, it is essential to focus on our own progress. Look back and see how much you've grown, the difficulties you've overcome, and the skills you've developed over time. That's what really matters, being better today than you were yesterday. This change in perspective brings a sense of peace and satisfaction. Instead of feeling envious or frustrated, you begin to feel motivated by your own progress. Gratitude for what has already been achieved strengthens your confidence and drives you to continue pursuing your goals without the pressure of being like others. Remember, your path is yours alone, and no one else could walk exactly the same journey. When you embrace your individuality, you find the freedom to grow at your own pace, respecting your own limitations and celebrating your genuine achievements. Life is full of unexpected events, and we often find ourselves struggling with situations that are completely out of our control. Resistance to these events only generates suffering, as we insist on trying to change what is inevitable. That's why one of the most powerful lessons is learning to accept what we can't change. Acceptance does not mean being passive or giving up fighting for our dreams. On the contrary, it is understanding that some battles are not worth it, and that our energy must be directed towards what we can really influence. By letting go of this need to control everything, we find a peace that once seemed unattainable. This detachment allows us to focus on the present, where we actually have the power to act. Instead of worrying about an uncertain future or holding on to an unchanging past, we focus on the decisions we can make now. This change in mindset empowers us and brings a sense of control over our own lives. Furthermore, accepting what cannot be changed teaches us about resilience. The difficulties we face do not define who we are, but rather how we deal with them. By adopting this stance, we become stronger and prepared to face the challenges that life throws at us. In the end, acceptance is a path to freedom. We stop being hostages to circumstances and become protagonists of our own stories, walking more lightly and wisely towards our goals. Life puts different people in our path, and each of them has something to teach us. Some bring lessons about love, support, and friendship, while others teach us about limits, overcoming, and self-sufficiency. What often seems like just a temporary relationship can actually be a great opportunity for personal growth. Those who challenge us, frustrate us, or cause us pain also play a role in our learning. They help us see our own limits, reinforce our self-esteem, and understand what we really want in our relationships. As difficult as it may be to accept, it is these challenges that strengthen us and make us more aware of who we are. On the other hand, people who offer us unconditional support show us the value of loyalty and genuine affection. They remind us that we are not alone, and that even in the most difficult times, there is always someone willing to lend a helping hand. It's these connections that help us get through the darkest days and give us the strength to carry on. Learning to recognize the role of each person in our lives is a way to evolve emotionally. Instead of holding on to hurt feelings or resentments, we start to see each encounter as an opportunity for growth, whether positive or challenging. With this perspective, we become more open and receptive to the lessons the universe sends us. And so, our journey is enriched with each experience, making us wiser and more resilient with each new encounter. The comfort zone is a safe place, but it keeps us stagnant. It's where we feel comfortable, but also where we learn and grow little. Leaving it is challenging and often scary, but it is exactly in this rupture that we find true transformation. When we allow ourselves to face the unknown, we discover capabilities that were previously dormant. Every step outside our comfort zone is an opportunity to become stronger and more self-confident. Challenging routine and seeking new things keeps us constantly evolving, moving us away from stagnation. The first steps can be the most difficult, as the fear of failure and rejection tends to paralyze us. However, as we face these fears, we begin to realize that failure is just a stepping stone on the road to success. With each mistake, We learn, adapt, and get even closer to our goals. Furthermore, it is outside the comfort zone that we find new possibilities and opportunities. It is in these moments that we meet different people, acquire new skills, and expand our worldview. By exploring the unknown, we become more prepared to deal with the adversities that life presents us with. In the end, the initial discomfort turns into pride and satisfaction when we look back and realize how far we have come. Leaving your comfort zone is, without a doubt, one of the most important steps to achieving a full and fulfilled life. Words have great power, but it is actions that really show who we are. In life, it's easy to find people who promise a lot, but deliver little. Learning to value what people do, and not just what they say, is an essential lesson to avoid disappointment and choose our company better. While words can be said in an impulsive or manipulative way, actions require effort and commitment. They are authentic reflections of someone's character, showing the true intention behind promises. By observing the behavior of others, we can distinguish true friends from those who are only present at convenient times. This lesson also teaches us about the importance of coherence in our own lives. There is no point talking about honesty, kindness, or effort if we do not act in accordance with these principles. Our actions are living proof of the values we cultivate, and it is through them that we build the trust and respect of those around us. By prioritizing actions over words, we become more realistic and less susceptible to illusions. This does not mean ignoring what people say, but rather considering their attitudes as the main factor in judgment. This perspective protects us from unrealistic expectations and guides us towards more authentic and lasting relationships. So learn to observe more and talk less. Let your actions speak for you, and choose to be around people whose attitudes align with what you value. This way, you build a network of true relationships based on trust and reciprocity. It is in moments of adversity that we discover who is really by our side. Many people are quick to reach out when everything is fine, but disappear as soon as difficulties arise. Difficult situations act as a filter, showing which friends remain and which ones move away. During the complicated stages, the masks fall and the true intentions are revealed. People who genuinely care don't hesitate to offer support, even when there's nothing to gain in return. These people are true allies, those who deserve to be valued and kept close. This process of discovery can be painful, especially when we realize that some of the people we trusted are not as loyal as we thought. However, it is also an opportunity to strengthen the relationships that really matter, those that bring balance and comfort in times of greatest need. Adversity teaches us to be more selective with our relationships. They help us develop a more accurate radar to identify who is on our side out of interest and who really wants our best interests. With this clarity, we were able to build a healthier and truer social circle. Therefore, be grateful for difficult moments, as they reveal the true colors of the people around you. And remember that, even if some presences are lost, those that remain are the ones that really matter, making each battle a little easier to face. In a world where the pressure to be accepted is constant, it is easy to fall into the temptation of giving up your own values to please others. But the truth is that no type of acceptance is worth it if, to achieve it, you need to stop being who you really are. Integrity is the foundation of our identity, and to lose it is to lose ourselves. We often find ourselves in situations where it is easier to go with the flow than to stand firm in our beliefs. However, the satisfaction of being accepted by others is always fleeting, while the consequences of betraying our own principles are lasting. Inner peace comes from knowing that we are being true to what we believe, regardless of what others think. Plus, being authentic helps us attract the right people. When we maintain our integrity, we become closer to those who truly appreciate who we are, not those who want us to be a version molded to please. This authenticity builds more solid and genuine relationships based on respect and mutual understanding. Sacrificing our integrity is also a dangerous path to self-esteem. Every time we give in to please someone, a little of our self-confidence goes away, and we start to depend more and more on external approval to feel good. In the long term, this leaves us feeling empty and lost, disconnected from our true essence. Therefore, never exchange your integrity for a compliment or a passing friendship. Be true to yourself, and the right people will recognize your value. After all, true acceptance begins within you, and with it, all other things become secondary. Every decision we make shapes the course of our life. The power to choose gives us the freedom to create the reality we desire, but it also brings the responsibility to deal with the consequences of our choices. Therefore, learning to make conscious decisions is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. When we fail to decide out of fear or procrastination, we leave our future to chance. And while it's tempting to avoid difficult decisions, the truth is that uncertainty only grows when we avoid facing it. Taking control and making decisions, even if imperfect, allows us to move forward and adjust course as we move forward. Deciding is also an act of courage. Facing doubt, analyzing options, and choosing a path requires willpower. But this is what sets us apart and makes us evolve. With each choice, we become stronger and more prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. Furthermore, the process of making decisions teaches us to trust ourselves. The more we get used to making decisions, the more we strengthen our self-confidence and our ability to act in moments of uncertainty. This makes us less dependent on other people's opinions and more confident in our own steps. Remember, Dark Creators member, that your life is the result of your decisions. Take the reins and make choices that are aligned with your values and dreams. Only then will you be able to transform your reality and build a path that really makes sense for you. Forgiveness is often seen as a favor we do for others, but it is actually a gift we give ourselves. Holding a grudge is like carrying an extra weight on your back, which prevents us from moving forward and seeing life lightly. Releasing this weight allows us to move forward with more freedom and inner peace. Forgiving does not mean forgetting or minimizing what was done to us. It means, rather, choosing not to let this pain control our lives. When we forgive, we regain power over our emotions and stop being hostages to other people's attitudes. Forgiveness is an act of liberation, a conscious choice to focus on what we can control. Furthermore, forgiving helps us build healthier relationships. By understanding that everyone makes mistakes, including us, we become more compassionate and empathetic. This empathy is fundamental to creating true bonds, where there is room for mutual growth and mutual understanding. Forgiveness also teaches us about the power of letting go. When we let go of resentment, we make room for new experiences and opportunities. Letting go of hurts gives us the chance to rewrite our stories without the shadows of the past, creating a brighter, more hopeful future. In the end, forgiving is a way of telling yourself that you deserve to be happy without the pain of the past, continuing to define who you are. Free yourself from this burden and see how your life can transform. Life is constantly changing, and the ability to adapt is fundamental to thriving. Every day is a new opportunity to reinvent ourselves, to be better than we were yesterday. The secret is to understand that this transformation does not need to happen in a grand way. Small daily adjustments make all the difference over time. Reinventing yourself does not mean abandoning who we are, but rather continually evolving, adjusting our path as we learn and grow. This process involves letting go of old versions of ourselves, habits that no longer serve us, and limiting beliefs that prevent us from moving forward. It is an exercise in courage, as it requires us to leave the security of the known to embrace the unknown. This change begins with the willingness to look inside and identify what needs to be improved. Sometimes we need to be our own critics, recognizing where we are falling short and where we can grow. This honesty with yourself is the key to opening doors that previously seemed locked. Furthermore, reinvention is a way to stay relevant and connected to the world around us. With each new version of ourselves, we gain new perspectives and make room for new experiences. This is how we stay motivated, curious, and engaged with life, even amid the challenges it brings. Remember, you have the power to be a new version of yourself every dawn. Make space for this daily transformation, and you will see how life can become an ongoing journey of self-discovery and evolution.